So I want to bring up something that just happened. We had the Game Awards that hit, and I don't think I've ever watched them. And so, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that came out of it. And so I caught Kratos talking shit on Call of Duty, and that kind of got me. I'm like, oh, do we have access to this? And YouTube was, that guy's weird, but so that got me into. I was like, oh, cool, I can watch it on YouTube. So I actually watched it, and I just want to preface this with like, it's a cringe event. Like,
Hate
the
that
crowd,
word.
the event, like it was like Matthew McConaughey came out, a bunch of people came out, and it was like, yay, what are we doing here? It's like a bunch of nerds just don't know how to fucking act in a public setting. It was weird. It was super weird. And their format was strange. But with that, there was a lot of interesting stuff that I would like to at least bring up. We can pace this however. But I'd wanted to start out with saying that over the years, Sony titles have just gotten shit on. And maybe it's just bad timing with Zelda's, but I feel like they've always catered to other people winning. And what really made me mad is seeing Spider-Man 2 nominated several times, several categories, and getting absolutely nothing. I would like to just like get your opinion on that, because we had the big winner was Baldur's Gate 3 and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Alan Wake 2 seemed to sweep, and Mario Wonder won a few as well. But like, we've both played this. We're different stages of it, but like, what are your thoughts on the game of the year or some of the winners in comparison?
So let me start off with the ones that I don't know much about. So with Baldur's Gate 3, didn't play it, didn't buy it, saw some reviews of it, watched some gameplay. I understand people were super hyped about it. I understand people loved it. I understand it killed. Graphics engine on it was just insane. Realism. Like, I get it. Great. Zelda's going to be Zelda. You can't really miss with a Zelda unless you just create some trash storyline and the characters are just garbage. And I think they piggyback off of the success of Breath of the Wild. That game went bananas, and Tears of the Kingdom, I think, did the same thing. Alan Wake 2, I was happy to see that take some awards because I'm a huge fan of the first Alan Wake. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. So I was very actually happy to see that one win some awards, because I was worried people weren't going to like that game, because it was kind of like a very niche type of game. Yeah. When it first came out. Like, you didn't really see gameplay like that, and like how you fought in that game, it was just weird. But the storyline of the game was amazing. But Spider-Man 2, in my personal opinion, because I have extensively put time into Spider-Man 2, like I'm well over 30 hours in that game, that is my game of the year, period. The gameplay was flawless, in my opinion. Flawless. The storyline was literally one of the best storylines I've seen in a video game in a long time. It kept you engaged. It kept you on the edge of your seat. Like, I kept playing because I wanted to do more in the story. Like, I wanted to see more of what happened. Like, I literally was spending like 5, 6, 7 hours at a time gaming because I was so invested with advancing the storyline. So when you told me that it won no awards, I was just like, rigged. Like, how are you going to tell me that this game won no awards? Like, it killed. Like, in my opinion, it knocked it out of the park with just storytelling, gameplay, action, and then just character development. Like, when we first talked about Spider-Man, you knew I was kind of worried about, okay, how are you going to do both Spider-Man? Like, are they going to make you focus on one more than the other? And I felt they'd get a fair share between both Spider-Mans, and they allowed you to flip at will between both Spider-Mans. So I think they did a great job. And you got to build out both Spider-Mans, and what I loved is you got to build them individually, and you got to build them as Spider-Men. And I thought that was super ingenious, because it kept you engaged of wanting to build each character, but then, I can build both of them together at the same time with these set of skill points. So it was, I don't know, man. Like, I could go on and on about the game. I'm not going to, because I want you to talk about it as well. But yeah, it was my game of the year. Easy. And for it to get snubbed, I was rigged. Yeah.
Obviously, game of the year, I could have guessed Baldur's Gate. But like, again, I can't fully talk about that because the voice actor won for Baldur's Gate. I did think I'd have to have a side-by-side comparison, but I thought Yuri, the guy who does the voice, we saw his again, we're kind of in the same spot where you're further. His transition of Venom suit taking over, and yeah, like I've gotten just like yeah, like what you told me, like him just like changing the dynamic. So it's not him just playing a role; he's changing his whole dynamic as the game goes along. And I was like, maybe he'll win that because he's acting. You know what I mean? He has to change character and then flip, and then it's almost psychotic because like some parts he's like, oh, then like, oh, hey, oh, them, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah,
holy crap! Like this is really good. Like his performance is phenomenal. So it really makes you believe it. I don't know. The one thing I'm gonna say about that, Baldur's Gate. You know, I sat down with the wife and I was like, let's check out this game. It won awards, so we watched some videos, and then I was like, maybe we could play it. Maybe it's like a Diablo, but I was thinking of like Divinity Original Sin. I was like, maybe that's what it is. But I was like, no, that's the other game. And then it goes through this gameplay, and then it's fucking turn-based. Like, you have to, like, I don't know how to describe another game, like Starfield or Stargate or StarCraft, yeah, where you have to, like, pick your spots, and then you move it like a board.
Is it like an
game.
RTS?
I think so, yeah. Like, so I'm like, there's no way in hell I would play that. You look
I
like
thought
Horizon
it was more
Zero
like
Dawn.
Skyrim or something.
No, that's what I thought too. And I was like, this might be cool. Let's check it out. And then like they go to this battle after this cinematic, and I'm like, and then it's strategy based, like time based and move based, like a board game, whatever that's called. I'm like,
Real-time
oh hell
strategy,
no,
RTS.
like that would take me out. You have this, you won for all this story, but then I have to sit there for 40 minutes in this battle, and like no.
That's weird. I
So,
mean,
like,
I get it. I
wouldn't. How did that win? I would never play that. And I know people with attention span that are like, hell no. So how did it do so well? Who played this game? Because I don't have the patience for that shit.
apparently, a lot of people did.
I'd say I'd try it, but I know I wouldn't. We'll leave that one alone. Screw you, Game Awards. Always shitting on Sony and good games. But yeah, at least Last of Us won for best adaptation for TV, but you really can't.
Yeah.
You can't deny that. I did find it weird that Resident Evil 4 was up for a bunch of awards. It's a goddamn remake, which we talked about in our last episode.
Yeah.
Like, why is this up with these greats? It's a remake. It's not a continuation.
Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. I would never take away from Resident Evil 4. Great game, but like to garner like awards, like
it's been done.
The game. We already know it was great.
It had its time.
Like,
it had its time for awards. It's a remake. So
kind of goes to show you that just games are shit right now.
really dumb. But there's I saw a lot of good features, and we can go probably spend hours just talking about some of the reveals. So that was the only thing that I really liked about the Game Awards. Was a ton and ton of new game reveals. The one I find interesting was Hideo Kojima came out and had like
Love that guy.
an open door. I was like, okay, he's got another weird ass game, another walking simulator or something. You know, we'll see what we'll see what happens. And then someone else came out of this door, and it was Jordan Peele, and I instantly got excited because I think he makes amazing movies, and I love his art direction.
Yeah, a lot of people hate on this movie, and I think Jordan Peele knocks it out of the park with all of his movies.
I don't like horror. I don't really like horror. I like suspense, but I like his movies. I love his pacing. I don't have a problem. I can watch his movies over and over. And so I don't know where the hell this game's going. It didn't even make sense. It's just like he uses real actors, and it seemed weird, but I don't know what it's going to be. But the fact that they teamed up is probably what I'm really super hyped for out of all of that, because I feel like it's two crazy creative minds and just like people that understand how to like embody people. So I think that one's really, really cool. I don't know if you saw anything on that or not, but
I haven't seen anything on it, but I'll definitely check it out. I'm super amped about it. Because you have Hideo Kojima, who I think he's one of the best video game directors of our time. And you have Jordan Peele, who his artistic touch is just incredible. So to have those two minds come together, I think they're going to drop some shit that we're just not ready for.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing, or like some people when they try to have a super band, it's going to be absolute shit. So
yeah. It's going to be shit.
It's going to be epic or terrible. Either way, I'm excited to see. And then it's not really this really wasn't a surprise, but they had a reveal Fallout TV show. They actually
Live action or anime?
It's a live action. It's from Prime, and it's Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy from Westworld. It's Christopher Nolan's brother. So the fact that
So is it going to be Fallout like the original, or are we talking like 3 or a mashup of all?
Well, this is what I'm going to say. So this is the point I'm going to make, is that Fallout works beautiful. No, you're good. Because that'd be a normal question. I think my wife asked the same thing. So the beauty of Fallout is, as long as you follow the timeline with the bombs and the war, the invasion from China and Alaska, you can put the story anywhere. And I believe this takes place in California. So you can write whatever you want. So as long as the lore is there, it's basically like they're making a movie or a TV show of a new storyline happening in California. So they have the ghouls.
As long as they got the Pip-Boy, that's all I care about.
Yeah, they have the Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, if you haven't seen that trailer, I would check it out. I think that what they did to the Westworld was really cool, so I'm really excited with the money from Amazon, and I think that's going to be an awesome show. So
it'll be a quality show. I'm surprised that they're going live action and that they didn't go like CGI or anime, but I also get you want to capture the essence of Fallout, but like give it that realistic touch that it never had. Because Fallout was some crazy shit if you ever played the games. So to bring that to life is going to be pretty epic.
Yeah, they had like one monster I don't remember ever seeing, but again, I haven't played in some of the newer ones or 76, but like there's like this creature with like a mouth and it's like just fingers. What?
Yeah.
I felt like part of it almost was going to be comedic, and I really hope they don't go that route because that would ruin it for me, but I'm excited for that one.
I think it won't hurt if you add like a comedic element, because the game is kind of dark and morbid and kind of dystopian. Yeah. So I think if you add like just a bit of a comic element, it'll kind of lighten it, because that could be a heavy game, like, or a heavy watch. Not saying that you don't want to do that, because you do want to capture the essence of the game, but I think you could throw like some lightheartedness, like take Guardians of the Galaxy 3, for example. Like, did you watch that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, that was a heavy movie, but also, the Guardians are known for kind of their comic lightheartedness. So they did I think one of the best blends of, we're telling you some dark shit, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to keep you invested with both laughter and heartbreak. So I think if you can capture those two, I think you'll have some good success. So, and obviously you'll have the fanboys like us that'll watch it for sure. So, it'll be interesting. I hope they do good. So I kind of want to jump back to Spider-Man 2. This is outside of the Game Awards, though. We're done with that. This is more about what's in store for Spider-Man 2 coming up. So as Joe said earlier, I've finished at least the main campaign. Joe is working towards the main campaign. I think he's right near the end. Kind of like once you're finished with the game, you can go back play again on harder modes, or you can just kind of go through, do crime stuff. My goal is to go through and 100% the game. I think I'm 4 trophies away from getting 100%. So I'm trying to do those right now. But I read a blurb today that I was super excited about. They're going to be dropping new content early 2024 for Spider-Man 2. So originally it was supposed to drop late this year. But the Insomniac team were like, you know what? This isn't as polished as we like. So we want to hold on to it and make it a better experience for our users. And some of the things that we're getting in the new game, we're getting a new mode called New Game Plus. It has not been said if there's going to be new content in that New Game Plus, if we're going to get some different storylines or whatnot. Also, like the symbiote suit for Peter, you can now change colors of the tentacles and whatnot, so you can make it more colorful. You can change the game from night to day at will now, so you don't have to wait for a certain mission. It was at night, and a certain was at day. Now you can just be like, I'm going to be Spider-Man at night 24/7. There were some other things that I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. The one thing that they did not clarify was if the content was going to be free or paid. I noticed that they did not use DLC. They just called it new content. So kind of curious if we're going to get free content or if we're going to have to pay. But like, are you excited to hear that? Or are you kind of like, the game was fun. I don't think I'll play it again. Like, what do you think about them dropping some new hotness on us?
I'm just going to go back to a few weeks ago when we talked about us getting screwed on the the limited edition PlayStations. Because it's like, when I bought my PS4, I got the game, but I had free downloads when it came around. So I had season pass, basically, for Spider-Man 1. So to me, it's like, it better be free, because I saw PlayStations for Black Friday, slim new models for $500, and we paid way more than that. So, like, I'm still kind of burnt and cross with that. Again, I haven't finished it. I'm always excited for new content. But with that, I would say, I can't really talk about it because I haven't finished the game. But they have an opportunity to either continue this game through content, or do they want to, if they have more story to tell, I'm always excited for that. Because they haven't faulted. Miles was great. Spider-Man 1 was great. This one's amazing. Like, I love it all. So, yeah, I mean, I am always down for more content and not having to wait 4 years, for a new game. I know they have Wolverine they're making, but, I already have theories about what the next Spider-Man game was going to be. But we can chat about that.
I do now, too.
Well, I'm not even done. I've been calling it out since, like, hours ago in gameplay. There's a hint. So that's gonna be a fun
I know at least one villain for sure that's gonna be in the next one.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm not gonna say it, but we'll talk about it offline.
Hopefully we'll talk about it next week, and I'll finish the game this weekend. But but if it's just like New Game Plus and stuff, I'm like, that's cool. I don't usually go back and change the colors. Uncharted did that, where you could you can turn the place green or black and white. I'm like, I just want to play the game. It doesn't do anything for me. But if there's bonuses, I do like the idea that you can make it night or day, because that is a cool feature. Because like some people,
it changed the whole dynamic of the city, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'd hope it'd be free, because God of War, go back, did announce that they are releasing DLC that just dropped like a few days ago for free. And I thought that was really cool. I'd like to see more of that instead of huge money grabs. Especially if it's just like something simple, like, hey, we're changing the colors. We need $15 from you. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
I will say for sure, though, that playing Spider-Man 2 has made me go back and play Spider-Man 1. I actually bought the Spider-Man 1 remastered because I want to 100% it. And just looking at the changes between, Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1 was like the main borough of Manhattan. So, you had just that one island. But then I'm playing Spider-Man 2, and it's like, oh, damn, I forgot they expanded the city in this one where you got the whole other borough across the bridges. Like, it's just the little things that change. And then, me personally, I liked how in Spider-Man 2, the gadget system worked, where I could have 4 different gadgets attached at any time and could just throw them out with a different combination, versus this one, I have to switch each one that I want to use to equip it. In Spider-Man 2, my web shooter was always there. And this one, I gotta switch from my web shooter to something. So it's really unique going back, playing the new game, and then going back and playing the one that it was derived from, and seeing the things that they felt was nuanced, and like, hey, let's make this change. I think it'll be better. I just think it's really cool. You're watching the progression of the game as it goes.
Because I replayed it so my wife could watch it, because I knew that was, I had it, and like, okay, this is coming out. Let's watch all of them. And I had to play Miles as well. But yeah. I went through that progression. You don't have to do crime. The crime was... So a lot of the stuff that took long, the wingsuits, save time. Just the fast travel is amazing. And so, yeah.
Fast travel is game changer. Game changer.
That was crazy. Go
ahead.
No, I feel like they either listened or just knew what to fix that people complained about, which is great for a developer.
Yeah, I feel like with the fast travel, they for sure, okay, people are going to hate traveling from the financial district to Astoria, which fun fact, that's an achievement. Let me know if you get it. It was not easy, but that's literally the very southern tip of the map to the very northern tip of the map, but across, diagonally across the map. It's not an easy trek. So I couldn't imagine as a player, I'm having to swing all the way up there. So they're probably like, no, we can't do this. Let's just create fast travel. But I like that they made you earn the fast travel. It wasn't just given to you. It wasn't just like, okay, here's your fast travel. Like, no, you got to do certain things within this borough to unlock fast travel. So I really, really, really dug that. I really liked how they did all the side stuff and extra stuff in Spider-Man 2 because it furthered all the various plot points that you were having. Like, I felt like Spider-Man 1 tried to do that and they couldn't capture it. Spider-Man 2 just did an incredible job of just like, I mean, I was getting sucked into every little side storyline and it was just like, well, I got to focus on the main mission. Like, I got to focus on the main story. Like I said, I can talk about this all day. We don't need to do that, but yeah. So lastly tonight, nerds, we want to end on, if you've been sleeping under a rock, the Days Before debacle. So, yeah, Joe was under a rock for sure. So Days Before was, at the time, I didn't know this, it was the most wish-listed game on Steam at the beginning of this year. So the concept behind the game was a MMO zombie survival game. So in the words that I read, it was supposed to be Last of Us meets The Division. So you have the tactical fast gameplay of The Division meets like survival zombie apocalypse of The Last of Us, all in the MMO style. So I was like, okay, that sounds really cool. I didn't wish list the game, but I was like, hey, I'll wait till it comes out. We'll see how it does, and I can wish list it later. So obviously fans were super excited for this game. Game goes through a little bit of ups and downs, controversies, whatnot, gets pulled, comes back, stuff like that. Happens with a new developer. By the way, the name of the developer is called Fanatics. They spelled it kind of funky. It's FN and then the word addicts. So the game dropped. I think it was earlier this week. It dropped. And I've never seen a video game company crash and burn that quickly and that epically in all my life of video gaming. So in 4 days, this game released, got trashed, people asked for refunds, and the developer closed their doors and went dark on the internet. Like, closed their doors, deleted their YouTube, their Twitter, their Instagram, their Steam account, like deleted everything. And Steam removed the game from Steam. Like Valve removed the game from Steam. Basically what happened was that when the game dropped, it was super glitchy, like buggy beyond belief. And come to find out that instead of it being an MMO zombie survival, it was an extraction shooter. And fans were livid. Like, livid. People started trashing it, review bombing it. It had negative feedback all over Steam. People were asking for refunds. And the developer just came out and was like, hey, we dropped the ball. And we're closing our doors. And it was just like, what? And one of their literal tweets to one of their customers was, shit happens. Like, that was their literal tweet to this customer when he said, yo, you guys have left a stain on the video game community. Shit happens. And I was like, so that's your official okay, all right, so we know what you're out. So the video game world's kind of divided on, was this a scam where they just scam people into buying a game that they never were going to make like what they advertised? Or was it they tried to make what they're going to advertise and they just couldn't figure it out? So they just released what they had, and it just blew up in their face. So I don't know which side to take, but it was just an epic read, and I was just like, wow.
I'd have to agree. Like, you see them crash and burn all the time. You see developers making games hard. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of people. Make something like really good. Even like a AA title is a lot of work. You just don't see. You see them fail, but you see them try. Just so to see a developer just be like, That's pretty unheard of, and I would have to lean towards either, if the whole thing was a farce, or they had a good idea and then they realized that they couldn't do the work, because again, that's a lot. It takes a lot, and they just like half-assed it and they're like Fire Festival with it.
Fire Festival, forgot all about it.
So like, that's what it makes me think of. Like, yeah, we have money. we're going to do this thing. We didn't think it out. We don't know actually how the hell to make a game. But yeah, that would be my theory. And like, I don't think, we've seen shit drops, glitchy drops, but I'm trying to think the last game I can remember that had people asking for refunds.
Cyberpunk
That big.
2077 would be.
Was it Cyberpunk or was it No Man's Sky?
Like-
That one had.
No, because No Man's Sky is still it was still decent. Like people still played it and still bought it, and they did
no,
as much
'cause-
patching, kind of what Cyberpunk did. But
No, it's still out.
I'm pretty
but
sure
like when it
it's-
first dropped, I
Yeah.
thought, because like people are like, I have nothing to do. Why am I playing this game?
it could have been.
I'd have to go
I
back.
have to
It
look
might be
into
that,
one.
but yeah, Cyberpunk had a shit.
I knew
release, so-
Cyberpunk was a shit release.
Yeah, but they fixed.
Like it was crashing PlayStations. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'd look that up because
I'll send you a great read. Like I don't know how much
Okay.
money yet. They haven't give out any numbers yet. There's a great read that actually breaks down a timeline from the start announcing of the game to its epic crash. And like for me, it was just like what shocked me is like the developers didn't even try to be like, okay, hey, we're gonna release patches, and like it was just like, we gave it the old try, and it didn't like what? Like I think it would have been not as shocking if as many people weren't invested in the game, that you got that much attention for the game.
Yeah.
Like you turn this into like this could be the game of the year, and now you're closing your door. It's fascinating. Like you said, making video games is not easy. I agree with you 100% there. But most of the time when you invest that much and you have that much capital, you try to make a success of it because you want to make back something. And for them just to be like, we're done. Either you had so much money that you just had fuck you money, or y'all was just in over your heads like, let's get out before we end up in the dumpster fire that is this game.
Fire Festival. Yeah, it's the Fire
Yeah,
Festival
Fire
of
Festival,
video
for
games.
sure.
Because if you really care, you try. I mean, Cyberpunk fixed
Right.
it. No Man's Sky fixed it. And I think the big thing to take away from that is why people would be mad. Yeah, community trust. That puts a stain in like Kickstarters and other stuff where people are like, cool, I'm investing in this. I want you to succeed. And if someone's just like, fuck it, that really burns a lot of bridges for people for other people who need those Kickstarters and pre-orders and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just not cool for anybody to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think of what it's going to do to the indie titles who don't have the big flagship studios behind them, like, Sony, Microsoft, Sega, things like that. Like,
I love indie.
The indie game scene is huge, but a lot of those companies, like, it's like one or two developers doing all this. So they need that Kickstarter money. They need those GoFundMes and whatnot. And you have a shit developer like this who takes advantage of that. It's going to make the masses kind of pause now and be like, is this going to be another Days Before? Like, this thing is going to end up as a fucking meme. It's going to be like the Leroy Jenkins thing from World of Warcraft. So, it's just bad all around. We'll see what happens. Obviously I'm going to keep checking the updates. But, yeah, I'll send you to read, man. It's different.
I want a copy of the game now. I want to play it.
I don't. I'm good. Steam has pulled it any damn way.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm good. I'm sure we're going to see a pirated copy somewhere because they said they're going to leave the servers online right now.
Yeah.
They're going to leave the servers online for now, but I'm just waiting for them to be like, we're turning the servers off. We got to pay bills.
It'll be like next Tuesday. Like shit happened.
Right.
We only had 2 servers. That's funny.
Well, kids, it's been another great episode tonight. We talked your ears off. We hope you enjoyed the content. We're gonna try to put out more pods on a regular basis. Like I said, we had holidays and stuff happen. It's the end of the year, so it's kind of, we got to do family things, family first. But we're definitely want to keep bringing you all quality content. Obviously, our goal is to not make them go this long. But hey, you get to chatting with your boy. Shit happens.
We had a lot of catching up to do.
Threw it back.
No,
Right.
that was good. That was well placed.
But no, as always, we really enjoyed you all tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the content. Let us know if there's anything you'd like for us to talk about in any future episodes. Throw in the comment section below. But other than that, we're going to catch you guys in another episode. Thanks for listening with us tonight, kids. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks again. Peace.
Peace.